Welcome to a psalm for today, your reassuring voice that Jesus is Lord. What a joy to rest in his lordship, to rest in his sovereignty, to rest in his providence, to rest in his abiding love, to rest in his grace and his mercy. Pastor Joani from Burkina Faso taught at MCA his first time, and he said a sentence over and over again that was really hard for me to get deep in my soul. And that sentence was trust God's love. I thought, what does he mean, trust God's love? And I'd heard trust God, I'd heard all kinds of the uses of trust, but to trust God's love was the first time I had heard that. And I thank Joani for it, because seated where I am, and wherever you are, in your car, laying down, in a hospital, in a car listening, in an airplane, wherever you are, you can just rest, take a deep breath in, and trust God's love. His love never fails. His love is higher than the heavens. His love is deeper than the deep. His love is from everlasting to everlasting. His love is absolutely phenomenal. Speaking of God's love, this week we are referring to Psalms and friendship. Yesterday we talked a little about the healthfulness of friendships, and I'd like to continue that part of our friendship conversation today. The part I want to focus on, Psalm 23, is "Then I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever." In one sense, it's a theological proclamation. This is the theology of being a forever person, being forever with the Lord. But we have found, researchers note, that people in relationships of faith, in faith relationships, live better. They have life improvement. For example, spiritual and holistic health from Christian friends, encouragement in faith and value. Christian friends help each other stay aligned with biblical values, provide wise counsel and accountability that supports holistic health, spiritual, emotional, and physical. Additionally, this idea of promotion of gratitude and belonging. When you're with your Christian friends, it promotes gratitude and belonging, and church friendships in church foster feelings of gratitude to God and belonging within a supportive community, which are linked to further health outcomes. The outcomes of being in close Christian friendships are amazing. Longevity and quality of life. How would you like that outcome? Longer life expectancy. Studies show that people with strong social and faith-based conversations or connections tend to live longer and enjoy a higher quality of life. Woo! Check that out. Longevity and quality of life. It's interesting. If you want to have a longer life, you want to have a longer life with your friends. But to have the longer life with your friends, you have to have friends to help build that longer life. It's a two-sided situation. Improved self-worth and purpose. Christian friendships reinforce a sense of belonging, purpose, and gratitude toward God, all of which contribute to better self-esteem and overall well-being. It's really dark out here, trying to read my notes that I took. Christian friendships, mental and emotional health benefits. Christian friendships, there is a reduced stress and anxiety. The support and encouragement from Christian friends lower stress and anxiety, leading to improved mental health. You want to dwell in the house of the Lord forever? Connect with your friends. There's a decrease in depression and loneliness when you are with your Christian friends. Strong social connections in a faith setting reduce feelings of loneliness and depression, and are linked to greater life satisfaction and happiness. By the way, having studied and done a little research, thank you to all the researchers who do these. These aren't just things people make up. These are researched, these are evidence-based, and they're super helpful. Mental and emotional health benefits: reduced stress and anxiety, decreased depression and loneliness, enhanced coping skills. I just can't cope. Hang out with your Christian friends, you'll improve in your coping. Then the physical. Remember, we're talking about, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Physical health benefits: reduced risk of illness. When you have a growing and healthy body of Christian friends, you have a reduced risk of illness. Maintaining close friendships, particularly within a faith community, is associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular problems and Alzheimer's disease. Now, there's no one saying that friendship is a cure. But notice it says is associated with a lower risk. Having trouble with your memory? Strengthen your friendships, your Christian friendships. Having trouble with your cardiovascular system? Strengthen your Christian friendships. Stronger immune systems. Regular religious involvement and the friendships it fosters have been linked to better immune function, even after accounting for other health factors. Brothers and sisters, we can serve the Lord with our friends and find that it's good for our immune systems. Now, when you go to church and worship, you're thinking, man, this is good for my spirit. When you go to church and worship with your friends, it's good for your immune system, which is my opinion all along during COVID. But that's another argument for another day. Healthier behaviors. Christian friends often encourage one another to adopt positive health habits, such as avoiding tobacco, moderating alcohol, exercising, and seeking preventive care. Whew, it's too dark to read. Yeah, so I'm the same. My friends would encourage me, hey, you need to talk to somebody about that. Another set of eyes on that situation would be good for you. And then, fourthly, lower blood pressure and heart disease risk. Christian friendships, especially in the religious setting, are known to lower heart situations, including your blood pressure and your risk for disease. So, as we wrap up on the weekend here and think about the healthfulness of friendships, remember, the Lord is my shepherd. When I am a friend with God, I am a friend of God. One of my dreams is that God will say that someday. Kent is a friend of mine. By the way, my devotions this morning, I read a fabulous line. Hear, O Israel, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind. Interesting. Here's the line Frederick Buechner said. He said, come to find out, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind, is more of a promise than it is a command. Amen. You will love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. He isn't finished with you yet. So friendship with God, what a friend we have in Jesus, is good for your immune system. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your blood pressure. It's good to ward off Alzheimer's. It's good, all kinds of things it's good for. At the same time, to see your brothers and sisters in the flesh is actually good as well. I am not sure that these statistics will play out online. I don't know that an online conversation is good for your immune system. It may be, but we don't know. So this weekend, go to church with your friends. Sit by your friends. Talk about your week. Talk about your life. Share your joys. Pray with one another. And watch yourself move towards the fulfillment of God's promise in Psalm